Hey everybody, Bobby Chiu here. So one of the most common questions I get asked these days is, how do you get so much stuff done, Bobby? Whether it's from professionals or students, that's one of the most common questions. Why? Because I do a lot of things. I run schoolism.com. We have tons of workshops around the world. We have a studio, Imaginism Studios, which I help run. I still work on films, and the list goes on and on. So today, I wanted to share with you 6 awesome tips, very simple, that are actionable, that you can do today. And I would love to know the results of what you do today. If you use these tips, how did it help you? Hopefully you could do them for a week, and then you'll see the real change in your productivity. Okay, so here we go. 6 awesome tips on how to get stuff done. Number 1. Be aware of the time you spend in between tasks. So maybe your list of things to do today is paint a cat. Then afterwards, you need to post something on social media. Then afterwards, you need to write a tutorial. Well, a lot of times, once we're done item 1, we spend a lot of time in between before we get to item 2. Things like checking out the latest thing on YouTube. These are all things that become giant time wasters if you are not careful. So as I'm working, a lot of times as I'm getting towards the end of whatever it is I need to do for task 1, I'll already start to think and picture, okay, I'm going to just jump into task 2 once I'm finished task 1. And a lot of times that's a real good kind of habit to have. Many of these tips, it's going to be all about efficiency, but of course there can't be efficiency if you don't stop to kind of recharge a bit. I do that generally in the beginning of my day. I exercise, I meditate, I have time for myself to just really think and get ready for an awesome, productive day. Okay, so number 2 is always know what your main tasks are going to be tomorrow. How many times do we come into work and we kind of sit down at our desk and we think, okay, what should we do today? What should I do today? And then all this time is wasted. Well, maybe I should just make a coffee first and then I'll think about what I should do today. A lot of times, a huge time saver is when you have your list of things that you need to do for tomorrow. So once tomorrow comes, you come into work, you look at your list of things to do, and you don't even really have to think about it. Just like how I have to make this video. This was on my list of things to do. So I just came in the morning, I just set up everything and turned on the camera. Let's face it, a lot of times we need a little bit of a warm-up to get the brain working at 100%. So this tip right here really helps with that beginning part, starting your day. If you always know what you need to do right in the beginning of the day, that saves a lot of brain power and saves it to actually do those tasks, which is awesome. Number 3, constantly be learning things that will help your productivity. Now, that's a simple one as well, but it can be somewhat challenging to get your head around it because we're filled with all these thoughts of this is urgent, that's urgent, this is urgent, that's urgent. I need to do all those things first before I work on something that will help in my future, which is exactly what this tip is. If you are constantly learning something to help you become more productive, wow, it really adds up. After a year of doing that, your productivity would be noticeably higher. So what do I mean by learning something that will make you more productive? Well, say like things like how people organize. There's all these different ways of organizing, and there's many really good books on it. I remember when I was coming off of the success of Alice in Wonderland with Tim Burton. It was the #1 movie in the world, and it was #4 highest grossing movie in the world that opening weekend. So with all that excitement came all these opportunities. Everybody started calling, and I wasn't really ready for it. All these people start calling, and they're all amazing projects that I want to work on, so I started taking everything. But then I wasn't as productive, I wasn't as organized yet. So then along with all these projects came a lot of stress. So much stress I never felt before. And it was because I didn't know what to do with my time. I didn't know how I was going to get everything done. So then one of the best things I ever did was take a step back and go, okay, this is not working. Let me start reading on how to organize my day, how to schedule everything in. And so I read like 7 different organizational books, took down notes and everything. Now, that might feel like a big step backwards because it did take me a lot of time to read all those books, but it's an investment in your future, right? And through reading all these books, I was able to create my own organizational system, which I still use today. And it's helped me to be so much more productive with so much less stress. Other examples of being more productive, learning things to help you become more productive is like when I learned how to work ZBrush. That really helped me a lot, working out my little sketches in 3-dimensional forms very quickly. All of a sudden that helps my painting as well. So look for things that will help your productivity and schedule out time to do that. I know everybody's busy, but life has a way of kind of doing that to us and making our lives really busy. And we got to be aware of this, and we got to consciously go, okay, no, these hours of the day, maybe it's just 1 hour at first and you can expand it as you get more productive. But this hour during the day, I'm going to spend it on learning this new thing that I don't know yet that will make my life more productive. Number 4, only concern yourself with things that you can affect. One of the most common kind of examples of this is, oh, well, I got this email to do a test to work on this project. I handed in the project, I worked super hard at it, and now I'm worrying, now I'm wondering, when are they going to call? Did I get the job? Did they like it? Rolling back and everything that I did and going, should I have done that? Oh, should I have said that? You know, if it doesn't help, don't think about it. Move on. This is what I do. I think about it in this way. If I put in the time, if I put in the effort, and if I thought about things logically, then that's the best I can do, and it's time to move on. Spend your time on things that you have a direct effect on, that you can actually change. Because the other thing is, when we worry about things that we have no control over, or we get angry about things that we have no control over, along comes stress. And stress doesn't really help anybody, does it? Number 5, be aware of how you're spending your time. Now, you might be working, but be aware of actually how you're working. Am I doing things quickly? Am I taking my time? Am I rushing through things? You don't want to rush through things, but you, at the same time, want to do things quickly. So it's like doing things quickly, but not rushing. Doing things with urgency, because you could always generally do things faster when you're concentrating on it. I can draw this thing faster. I can paint this thing faster. I just got to concentrate and be aware of the speed that I'm working at. And eventually, I'll just get faster and faster and faster and faster. A good buddy of mine, Chris Pern, director and all-around amazing story guy, he draws lightning quick. And the thing that he told me was he purposely started drawing quicker than his brain could handle. And at first, the drawings don't work so well, but he just keeps drawing and drawing and drawing, and sooner or later, the brain starts to pick up speed and starts to be able to think as fast as he was drawing. And then at that point, he would start to draw faster again. And then again, it would be kind of not so good drawings in the beginning, and then his brain would catch up, so on and so forth. So consciously think about how you are actually spending your time. Number 6, the last tip, and this is another simple one that everyone can do, which is only check on things when they need to be checked on. So in other words, do you need to check your email right now? Do you need to check it 25 times a day? Do you need to check your social media 10 minutes after you posted something? Checking comments and things like that. If you actually time it out and see how much time is spent doing these things, these checks that we don't actually need to check, you'll see all this extra time that can be used for other things, more productive things. And I wanted to make sure that everybody understands productive things doesn't just mean making something, being productive, creating something. It also means being productive in your downtime. When you relax, relax. Stay off your phone if it doesn't help you relax. If it keeps you stimulated all the time, a lot of times it's very hard to go to sleep if you keep looking at your phone. Get that downtime. So relax in a productive way, work in a productive way, do these 6 tips for a week, and let me know in the comments how it affected you. This is Bobby Chiu. Thank you very much. Take care, everybody. Save $100 off an annual Schoolism subscription. This means you get over 200 lessons organized in over 25 different courses with access to download assignments and level up from top artists like digital painter Craig Mullins, character designer Wouter Tulp, Oscar nominees Dai Satsumi and Robert Kondo, and many, many more. Schoolism.com only has 1 or 2 sales a year for their online classes, so act now. This is a great one. Sale ends January 10th, 2019. Go to schoolism.com and enroll today.